So this was supposed to be just a normal manga video, but something in the manga was mentioned that was so interesting I couldn't not talk about it. And that is on the subject of enlightenment and how Vegeta reveals to Goku what he lacks and how to get more power and get enlightened. In the Dragon Ball Super timeline and throughout every story, all of the training that Goku and Vegeta had was with brute force, training the body and not the mind. Every training from the times with Whis, with Master Roshi, with Grandpa Gohan, with everyone that Goku trained with, the training was focused on strength, but never the mind. With Ultra Instinct, it got different, but the body reached its limit. Even with Miros, that happened. At this point, we all questioned how can they achieve more power, how can they train more and achieve the new pinnacle of power, the new pinnacle of what they can become. And in the manga, that was mentioned by Vegeta to Goku. He told him this on how to get this enlightenment and push yourself. And it all starts at this point. On Pierce's planet, Whis is training Goku and Broly. This is the first time since the Broly movie that we've seen Broly himself. He's training with the Saiyans. Goku's going at him in his base form, training Broly to hone his power and not rage. He tells him that he's getting the hang of fighting and he will get used to it bit by bit. And pretty soon, he will be fighting with a level head without snapping into rage. We get a bit of history to who Broly is, but if you're not caught up and you don't know who Broly is and his story, just go watch Dragon Ball Super Broly, the movie. Nonetheless, they continue their training, but now they're transforming. Broly at some point in this training starts to power up and snap. Goku, on the other hand, tells him to calm down, and they finish it here, so Broly won't lose control. And it's at this point where it all happens. Goku tells him that he was about to snap. He needs to keep that side of him in check. He asks Vegeta for words of wisdom while we get our first glimpses at him, and he's meditating. He continues and says, "You wanna help out? You'll get rusty sitting there forever." Vegeta replies with, "Silence, do not disturb me." Training through meditation? You of all people, that's new. Vegeta's different here. He replies with, "Jiren, Broly, Moro, Gas, and now even Frieza. I was shown to be inferior to all those foes in recent years. What did they have that I lacked?" Goku replies with, "It just means you gotta train your body more, right?" Incorrect. Our physical bodies have long since honed to their limits. In that respect, our training already made us on par with those opponents. Goku can't believe it. Wait, really? He continues and says, "The key difference lies in how we wield our power. There's still too much excess, too much wasted energy when we fight. To command 100% of our power, we must force our bodies and spirits to relax outside of the moments when we attack. Attacking in a relaxed state keeps the enemy from reading one's moves and will also preserve stamina. Our foes are capable of that. I'm not. So this phase of my training must take place in my own mind." And well, he's right. I will dive deeper, but I wanna finish this aspect and those information that Vegeta gave us. Since Whis comes into the picture and says, "Fabulous Vegeta, I must say. To reach such a conclusion on your own, focusing solely on beefing up one's muscles doesn't amount to proper training on its own. Eureka moment is yet to come, Goku." Then he continues and says that he wants him and Vegeta to train with Broly like a fight and on, but I don't want to focus on that aspect. I will leave that to a different video focusing on the events that happens in the manga. But the topic of this one is what Vegeta said. If we go back just a bit, he mentioned that when they wield their power, there's still too much excess, too much wasted energy when they fight. And this couldn't be more right. If we look back at the Granola arc, specifically when Vegeta achieved his form, a lot of ki was released. On the other hand, compared to how Pierce fights, you can hardly see ki leaking. And if we look at Whis and the higher beings like the Grand Priest and the Omni King when he erased planets there was no ki leaking. Whis when he fights doesn't leak any ki and he can easily defeat Pierce, Goku and Vegeta. Looking at that, the more control you have over your power, the less ki will leak and the power will stay within you. The thing about Mastered Ultra Instinct that Goku lacks is wielding it for long periods of time, since in a fight it takes its toll on his body and he doesn't master it, when Ultra Instinct requires one to have a relaxed mind, so his body will move without thinking. But that doesn't necessarily mean that to have that you will get Ultra Instinct. The equation is different. To have Ultra Instinct you need to have a relaxed mind and body, but when you have a relaxed mind and body, that doesn't just equal Ultra Instinct. Vegeta has Ultra Ego. Ultra Ego is different from Ultra Instinct, but he needs that relaxed mind to hone it. So when they're not attacking, their body wouldn't respond like they are. And attacking in a relaxed state means the enemy can't read their moves, so they will preserve stamina and it will be much more powerful, since the ki stored within them is much more. And this thing that he said about the enemy can't read their movements, it's like how Ultra Instinct is. Since your body and mind are reacting on their own, the enemy can't read them, since they themselves are doing what they want. And this aspect of training, or to be more accurate, this aspect of getting powers isn't just new. This is the whole point of Ultra Instinct. But for Vegeta to finally realize that their bodies achieved their pinnacle of powers and achieved their limits. A physical body has its limits. All of their forms, if you look back at them, are triggered by what I like to say are moments where their body changed to adapt to that specific scenario. But all of those changes weren't physical. Their hair changes, their eye color changes, but their body structure doesn't change that much. What changes is their ki and their ability to react and fight. Those are the only things that actually change within such forms. But all of their training till this point was physical. Physical training makes the vessel, the body, more resilient and can fight for long periods of times. But that happens only because they're leaking so much ki that it wears their bodies, using this much ki in this fast amount of time. So when they reach their pinnacle of strength in terms of physical, and now they're aiming to reach the pinnacle of strength in terms of relaxing and honing the spirit and mind. This is the point where everything changes, the point where our Saiyans become different and they actually can achieve and can become much stronger, and they can be rivals to those higher beings that do the same thing that Vegeta mentioned. And yeah, this aspect of the story and of how to achieve forms really piqued my interest, and I just wanted to talk about it and mention it on a separate video that gives it justice. This is a part of the story and a development that I'm really on board with. And yeah, this is it. We reached the end. But this topic has much more layers to it. And tell me in the comments, what do you think about it? Do you think this is the way to achieve new forms? Do you think that what Vegeta said makes sense? I'm really interested in hearing what you all think. And yeah, keep your head up and stay safe. Follow your dreams. And if you're feeling down, just remember, it must work out somehow. And it will. I believe in you. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.